Welcome to a new episode of Coptic Civilization. I'm Michael Saad. The diaspora has received so many Copts over the last 50 years. The status today would not have been imaginable 50 years ago. But thanks to divine providence, we are enjoying the fruits of labor of the first generation who immigrated. But even in certain cases, the second generation have amazed us with their contributions to the Coptic heritage, including art, music, architecture, missionary work, educational work, long list. Our honored guest today is His Grace Bishop Suriel, who in a sense can be considered second generation of immigrant Copts in Australia. Welcome, Your Grace.
Thank you so much.
We are honored and very grateful for your kindness and graciousness accepting our invitation.
It's a great blessing to be with you.
It's a great blessing. You are visiting Los Angeles and giving us your time now in your busy schedule.
Most welcome.
You immigrated with your parents when you were a child from Port Said to Australia. A few decades later, you returned, including a journey becoming a monk in Wadi al-Natrun, there Amba Bishoy, then serving as a monk in Hawaii and in New Jersey, then a bishop in the Archdiocese in New Jersey, then the Bishop of Melbourne in 1999. And now in Melbourne, there are so many aspects of Coptic civilization and spirituality flourishing so much in Melbourne that really needs books and programs and videos and photographs and a whole lot to explain. We'll try to do it in one little segment today, an overview, and hopefully we can do more of the details in future segments. If I may focus on education, for example, you established there the St. Athanasius Coptic Orthodox Theological College, and recently, about a year ago, it became accredited by the MCD University of Divinity. This accreditation, we mentioned it also in the last episode, but this is one aspect of Coptic civilization because education has been a hallmark of Coptic life and civilization for the last 2,000 years. What made you focus on education as one of the pillars of your ministry in Melbourne, and what are other manifestations of education in your diocese?
Yeah. Look, I really believe that having a powerful theological college in my diocese was important to be able to continue our rich history and the tradition, and to make sure that future generations of Copts would be able to continue in the faith that was handed down to us once and for all, that the Lord gave to his apostles and was handed down from generation to generation. And so having proper Orthodox teaching was central to my thinking, and that's why I thought about establishing the college. And His Holiness Pope Shenouda III allowed this in 2000, and wrote a papal decree establishing the college, and we began our first semester in 2001. It was a small beginning, and it was rocky at first and took many years to be able to establish properly. But I did not lose hope and continued to work with a good team until we got to the stage when we started to think, well, we need to be recognized, we need to do this properly and to have proper professors and lecturers that are accredited and have PhDs that would be able to teach the courses that we wanted to offer. So it was a long process of about 4 years that we began negotiations with what was called the Melbourne College of Divinity. And in the end of 2011, they accepted us as the first Orthodox college in a group of 10 colleges which are Anglican, Protestant, Catholic. We were the first Orthodox college to join them. And then they became a university last year, known as MCD, University of Divinity. So they administer all of the work. They give us the accreditation. They do not get involved in the doctrine that we teach, but they need to be assured that we have people that are accredited. We have a proper administration system, a library, proper facilities to teach our students. And the college has began to offer a diploma in theology and undergraduate award, and it has grown even in this first year, last year, and now our second year. We have a 56% growth in the number of students. This year we have 55 students that are studying the accredited stream and 13 auditors. We began to teach online courses this semester in Old Testament. We have 28 students doing that unit, 7 of them that are non-Copts from other theological colleges. So we started to hire full-time staff. We now have a librarian, a registrar, some full-time lecturers, and also we began to send students to study abroad. We have one student at Holy Cross Greek School of Theology doing his master's, and hopefully continuing to do a PhD in New Testament, and others that are studying in Melbourne, advancing their studies so that they can be teaching with us in the future as well.
I'm so fascinated because it has been a dream inside me, and I know many people have such dreams to have Coptic theological education at international level that attracts non-Copts and also attracts the second generation in the diaspora. How the second generation in the Diocese of Melbourne are responding to this facility, this opportunity of theological education at such level?
The fascinating thing is that 90% of our students are under the age of 30, compared with the other colleges of the MCD University of Divinity, where the average age of their students is in their 50s. So they're surprised how we are attracting young people to study theology. And it shows the vibrant youth ministry that our churches have all around the world, and that our youth are very attracted to the church and love their church very much and are hungry and eager to study theology. Even when I was in New York last week, I found many students, several students, studying at St. Vladimir's and at Holy Cross, and it shows that there is an eagerness amongst the second and third generations to learn about their faith, their history, their Coptic language, and this gives us a lot of hope for the future of the church.
That's amazing. May I say that it, reinterpreting what Your Grace have been saying, is that when the second generation find quality service, quality education, they come in numbers. If the service or the ministry or education is second level or lower level, they don't want to invest time in something not as fruitful. So was there involvement and excitement going up as the quality grew up?
There's no doubt about that. When many of our young people found out that the Theological College became a college of the MCD University of Divinity, a lot of people were very interested to apply and to come to study, and they are really enjoying their studies. And we have one of our lecturers, for example, he has 2 PhDs, one from Athens and one from Germany, so he knows Greek language, he knows Coptic, he knows German, so he's giving a very rich flavor to the study of theology, and the students enjoy very much studying with him.
And you have online ministry or education for a degree, for credit?
Yes, at the moment we began with 2 units of study, one in Old Testament and one in New Testament, but we hope by the beginning of next year that our students will be able to do the complete diploma in theology online, and I think this will attract students even from outside of Australia as well.
How many people from Egypt are enrolled?
None at the moment, but it is also expensive. So, you know, we don't set the fees. The fees are set by the MCD University of Divinity. So many people in Egypt would find it difficult to study because the fees are high.
Yeah, and the fees are high because you have expenses.
That's
you
correct.
have to pay faculty full-time
Yes.
salaries.
Yes.
And in order to be accredited.
And also affiliation fees to the university as well.
So your fees, I mean the fees of the school are due to expenses, not because it's an income.
And also it's a requirement of the university, and they set the fees for us.
But you have 56 students today willing to pay the fees.
Yes.
And if, for example, a particular parish in the Coptic world is interested in educating its own young people, they would make a local collection of contribution, and that young person would enroll, supported by the community.
Yes, and that's what we do. We have our parishes, they support through a scholarship fund 2 students from each parish.
Okay.
So they choose 2 of the young people that have the potential to succeed in this study, and they sponsor them to be able to complete their degree.
And nothing is higher return on investment than educating a young person in theological education.
Indeed.
Because that person, you invest $10,000 in their education, but they pay you back for 40 years.
Of course, yes.
At no expense to us. So that's definitely. I guess if I Google St. Athanasius Coptic Orthodox Theological College in Melbourne, I will get the website, and I really enjoyed watching the website and the video on it. It's a very impressive video. We'll try to show it on one day on Logos TV. But please, our viewers, go to Google what I just said and enjoy yourself getting the exposure and joy in the Lord, and pray for that project to be more and more successful in Australia, and also emulate it in your own locality. And so there will be worldwide 10 of such fantastic, impressive centers of excellence for Coptic theological education that represents Coptic spirituality, Coptic civilization, 2,000 years of witness to Christ in the Coptic experience by blood, by sacrifices, by donations, by dedicating the life to Coptic ministry and Coptic education. I understand that your grace also in Melbourne, you have also secular education. From kindergarten, or if you call it in Australia, preparatory school, to high school, that's about 13 years of education to get to any college. And That's an amazing project.
It is actually,
Yeah.
and it was actually begun before I came to Melbourne. It was St. Mary's College began in 1991 when I was actually about to go to the monastery. And I remember at that time I was so excited to hear that the first Coptic school was opening in Australia, and I remember sending a donation to Father Tadros Cherubim as an encouragement before I went to the monastery. The school began very small at the time with about 50 students in a very old dilapidated building. And now if you come and see the school, you would be so proud of it. We have about 650 students, and we have many, many buildings. But the good thing is that we're able to do this because of the great support that the Australian government gives for private schools. Otherwise, this would not be possible. So the school has a staff of about 70 people, including most of them would be teaching staff. Has 24 buses that picks up the students in the morning, returns them home in the evening every day. Has religious education, teaching of Coptic language, Arabic language, all of the secular subjects of the government curriculum. But the good thing is that they are within a Christian atmosphere. They have a parish priest there who is with them all the time. He's the director. He's been really the pioneer behind this establishment of Coptic schools in Australia. I'm talking about very Reverend Father Tadros Cherubim, who has really been inspirational in the work that he has done at the school. And I believe the continuation of that, of course, is the theological education. But to have this, it assures us of students that are well grounded in their Christian faith within a Christian atmosphere. They can pray liturgies there. There is a chapel. It is a very good atmosphere. I always enjoy my time when I go to visit the school. They have a great library there, many learning centers. They have full science labs, arts center, an excellent facility. If anyone comes to visit, and the many bishops that come to visit are always very impressed by the quality of the education and the facilities that are at St. Mary's College.
I'm amazed. I have so many questions to ask about this St. Mary Coptic Orthodox College and also the St. Athanasius, but we will dedicate more time, a whole segment for each one of them in the future.
Sure.
If I may move to another important topic that your diocese presented as a role model also, which is missionary work among the natives of Fiji, the Pacific island, among the Australians who are not Copts, so much. And if we may dedicate some time now to the fruits of the labor of love, the missionary work. And by the way, several of our young people, second generation from Los Angeles, did go to Fiji and came back after a month or two. And I had interviewed them about their experience, and I was amazed at the effort there and their own learning and benefit.
Yeah.
And if any one of the viewers like to participate, go to the Diocese of Melbourne website, and you can request to participate in such missionary work from wherever you live in the world. But Your Grace, please tell us about the Fiji experience and the Australian experience of missionary work among non-Copts.
You see, mission work, in my opinion, is not something which is optional, but is a divine command. The Lord said to his disciples to go and to preach in Jerusalem, in Judea, in Samaria, and to the ends of the earth. And so it is not optional. We have a role to play, to preach to every creature, as the Lord said to his disciples, and to baptize them in the name of the Father and the Son and of the Holy Spirit. So I do not believe that the Lord sent us to these countries such as Australia and New Zealand, just to serve the Coptic people. But we have a role to play in preaching to the whole of the people amongst which we live. So a bishop, when he's ordained for a city, is not just ordained for the Copts of that city, but in fact ordained to serve all of the people of the city. And so we thought how we can begin in these islands in the South Pacific, that no Orthodox churches ever went there before. And we went for a first trip in 2004. It was the first time for me to get off a plane and not be met by a Copt, but we were met by the local Fijian people that met us with beautiful flowers and greeted us with great joy. And we planned the trip very well. We hired a company that did all of the promotion for the trip. So they organized for us to meet with the president, to meet with the prime minister, to meet with the minister for women and social welfare. We had public lectures, many interviews on television, on radio, in the newspapers. We went into the market areas and greeted the people and gave them gifts and brochures about the Coptic Church. And because the media began to speak about us, when we went into the streets, people would stop us and say, oh yes, we know who you are from the Coptic Church. And people began to be interested to know through the public lectures and through the media more about the church. So we did it correctly and in a proper way. I went through the front door and met with the officials and told them, we're here, we want to help the people of Fiji, we want to try to alleviate poverty and assist with medical needs and so on. And they welcomed us very warmly. And this trip left a lot of people very hungry to know more when they heard that this is an ancient church, an apostolic church that has a history going back to the time of the apostles and the Lord Jesus Christ. They had not heard about such things for a long time. And so seeds were thrown down, and then the Lord started to work with these seeds in people's hearts, and we left material for them to read, Agbea's books of His Holiness, books on Orthodox life and faith. And they began to gather in small groups and to read together and to pray together and to continue to communicate with us. They said, please send us someone to teach us. And so this person who was with me, his name was Saad. I said to him, would you be willing to go with your family and go and spend 6 months there? And he agreed, and he was very successful. Ministry began in a small house. It was too small after a while. Expanded, we hired a hall to pray in. And after about 6 months, we had about 63 people ready to be baptized. And I went in May the next year and baptized this group. It was a historic and very joyful day. And this blessed servant then was ordained as a priest for mission in the diocese by the name of Father Mark Atalla.
Amazing, amazing. This qualifies for, at my level as a layman, if Your Grace would allow me to say, this qualifies for one more chapter in the Book of Acts, or at least one more mention in the Synaxarium. In the Synaxarium, in the sense of, here we are in 21st century, the Copts are not shrunk, or despite they are a persecuted minority in Egypt, their spirit is still can ignite and kindle the natives of a Pacific island.
Well, I think, this has been part of our history, that we were always a mission church.
Yes, yes.
But at certain period of history where we were no longer able to continue that mission in Egypt, now God has opened channels for us in many parts of the world that we continue to do His work in many parts, whether in Australasia or here in America or in South America or in Africa.
Your Grace, thank you so much for accepting our invitation to be our honor guest today at Logos TV, our program Coptic Civilization, and giving us hope and the assurance that the diaspora is emphasizing the continuation of Coptic spirituality, missionary work, educational work, and so many other aspects of Coptic realities. And we are grateful, and please pray for this program and for Logos TV.
May the Lord bless all of your work. Thank you.
This has been a segment of Coptic Civilization focused on the mission of the Diocese of Melbourne in Australia with His Grace Bishop Suriel. I'm Michael Saad.